You guys awake? I'm sort of awake. Sitting here laughing with Marcus about future offers from CNN and the ridiculousness of it. Sorry about that. If there was, oh my gosh, what a funny day, guys. Not really. There's all sorts of terrible things going on around the world, but there's some funny things too. This cover card though, let's get serious. Matt Davies drew this. For your protection is what I'm calling it, because this has been happening for a while, but really, really happening now, right? Taking money that should be going to the EPA and so many other things and finding a way to spend it on more war, which is just unbelievable. For our protection. For our protection, we go to war around the world and end up with resources. And you and I are supposed to feel protected about that. Yes. Good morning. Yeah. It's weird, though, because in other countries, they don't seem to need to do that to feel so protected. And I just wonder, why that is. Why is it that Marcus can feel protected when they don't even have like 2% of their GDP goes to military? It's like a Trump-sized military, really. It's Marcus is laughing. Good evening, Germany. Yeah, Jim Lockett says, good morning. How you doing, Marcus? I thought I'd start off early with the German bashing.
Good morning, John. I'm doing fine, and I hope you guys in America do too. Good morning.
Go.
I know. I'm here. I'm here. I'm here. Can you hear me?
Oh, hang on, guys. Hang on. I got an audio issue. Give me 1 second. This is not the way to start a show. Be right back. Okay, we resolved that problem. Got to bring Marcus on now. There's a reason this is not a professional show. This is an adult show. I want to specify the difference there. Adult show, professional show. Hold on, you guys. I'm just I'm as honest with you as I can be. Good morning, Marcus. How you doing?
Good morning, John. Good morning, America.
Thank you. Let's get that going. Get the swirlies going. I am so tired, everybody. I have not been feeling well, and I did not get shit for sleep last night, and I am dragging ass today, and I am doing my best to get everything ready for tomorrow, which is a big, huge day. We got all sorts of shit going down tomorrow. We have a March for Science. We've got the update from Katie on the incredible just the French election thing is just crazy. But I haven't even said good morning to you guys. Good morning, Jim and Steve and Barbara and Jupiter and Paula and who else is in here? Randy and Bernice. Hey, how you doing, Bernice? Hope you're feeling better. And Luis and Joanne and JMO. How you doing? And who else is in here? Kendra. Good to see you, Kendra. And, let's see that. Manic. How you doing? Stock Post. Chaz. Hey. A lot of people. If I missed your name, I'll catch you later on in the conversation. What have I been doing this morning? Happy belated 420 to you, Juliet Nickel. Yeah. Good day, John Warren. Like I said, tomorrow, big, huge day. And Marcus is just doing some amazing things with the interview. Let's talk about that right now before I forget. Just tell everybody what's going on with that.
Yeah, today we have the interview with a refugee from Syria, the young man, and I think it would be a clip of 35 minutes. We don't know yet if we will send it in one piece or in separated pieces. But anyway, what he has to tell was very, very impressive, and you all can ask yourself, what did you do when you were 16 years old? I can only tell that this guy knew what to do. He had to survive. And he will tell you.
Yeah, it's going to be it's an incredible story that we have here. And at this point, we're glad it seems to be a happy ending. Thank you, country of Germany, for not being assholes. Yes. And he's lucky that he's not in the United States. That's all I'll say. Because what happened in Germany would not happen the same here. He'd be on an ice van, gone.
In the end of the interview, I asked him what he thinks about America and how they are acting in Syria, and what refugees concerns in America from Syria. Why are they not allowed to go there? And I think he has a lot of very interesting things to tell you guys.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm really, really excited about this. Thank you so much for doing it. And Marcus's friend donated his time. Marcus paid him a little bit, but really, compared to the kind of work that he put in, it's like nothing. And
ridiculous.
Yeah.
Ridiculous.
And this guy had a full setup, so it's professional recorded. It's not like the shit I do. We're talking, real good camera and a microphone and all that stuff and lights and everything. So I'm really and you also said that he's willing to come on at the end of the series to talk and answer you guys' questions.
I offered him to come to our show when we air this piece, and he would be available for questions from you guys, and I would translate this to him. And I think this would be a very interesting show to watch.
Yeah, it would be.
As every of our shows, of course.
Of course. So those of you who are just showing up, by the way, hello to the new audience that seems to have showed up. Thank you for all of you who are sharing and growing our audience, because really, I don't know, it's not the programming, it's not the host. You guys are coming by and enjoying the conversation. So thank you so much. I really appreciate you being there, and I appreciate all of you sharing and commenting and engaging with us, because that's what grows our audience. So it's nice to see more people. If you're not aware, this show truly is what it is. It's a conversational therapy. It's just a discussion about what's going on. I'm not a journalist. We do make some efforts at reporting truth, and this piece going on with Marcus is a special thing. But really, I created this for me. I'll just be honest. I created this to keep myself sane, and there's a group of us that like hanging out and not going insane together. That's why we're here. But I want, the reason I'm saying that is to say that the channel, Uphill Media, formerly Bernie 2016 TV, is here to do more than just this show for adults. And this is an R-rated show, all right? So if you're tuning in for the first time or haven't been around in a while and forget who I am the same foul-mouthed bastard that I was 2 years ago. I've just learned some things about politics, but I'm not going to change who I am. This show is not for your children unless you allow your children to hear words like clitoris and penis and fucker.
Trump.
Right? Trump. All right, so I just wanted to get some of those words out right away, all right? Now, however, we do other things. We are an independent media network. We do rely on your support and your help. And we, as Uphill Media, now broadcast Bernie events. We did one last night with Bernie and Keith Ellison, and we're going to talk about that today. We are partnered with Livestream Solo. That's a unit. Livestream is LiveView. My bad, LiveView, and they make a piece of equipment called the Solo, and we have one. It's in the hands of Scott Galindez, and he travels around and gives us live streams from various places. He's in Iowa, so it's kind of a hotbed of progressive movement right now. And we also work with other shows. Chad Talks With, and is a more professional, no bad words show that we do in the evening once a week on Wednesday, where Chad Lupkes, who's part of the Washington Democratic Party up there, interviews other progressives, other politicians, other people that are involved with things. Next week, we've got an interview with Tim Vanderveer, who is the chair of the Hawaiian Democratic Party, and we've got a video today where he's talking about pot, because Hawaii is all down with that. Believe it or not, and just so anybody doesn't know, just to clarify for Jeff Sessions, Hawaii is actually a state. He didn't understand that, but Hawaii, just because it's an island, Jeff, doesn't make it not a state. Series of islands. And yes, a judge can block the president, because that's why we have three branches of power, you dumb fuck. Okay, moving on. I just wanted everybody to know that we do other things. On Sundays, we do Truth Against the Machine, produce that show. And I'm always looking to work with nonprofits or other politicians, entities, people running for office, groups, organizations that want to get their voices heard, that want to help promote the truth. That's what I do. I produce engagement broadcasting with this equipment. We can work with anybody around the world as long as you have access to the internet, a camera, and a microphone, right? Webcam. So that's. I just wanted to get that out. The disclaimer: this show is for adults to hang out and be potty mouthed and complain about shit. That's what it's for. All right. And occasionally we do some Emmy Award winning stuff, like what Markus is putting together on this interview, which is an interview with. I was going to explain this. The whole thing came up here. Markus, why don't you tell everybody really quick the whole thing about how this happened? How did you end up getting connected with the guy from Syria, the refugee?
Well, a friend of mine called me and he was asking if we had a place in our company for an intern. You call it intern, I think.
Yes.
And he's still at school. He is looking for his exams in 3 months. And as I seen him, and as I from the impression I have, he will make it with no problems. And and we gave him the chance for 2 weeks to check out what we are doing, and he has to give him an impression of how work in Germany goes, you know. And he was one of our best interns we had so far.
Wonderful. And at first we thought that he was going to be sent back to Syria, right?
Yes, obviously there was some bureaucrat in Germany who told him that he would have to go after 2 weeks. After 2 years here in Germany. They told him he had to go back to Syria, and I talked to a lawyer, which I contacted for another case, for another co-worker of our company, and I described the case of this young guy, of the Syrian guy, and she said no, there's no chance that he will has to go back. His girlfriend he found here in Germany. She's German. He's pregnant. She's pregnant, and in June or in July he becomes father, and there is no chance that he would be sent back to Syria. No, right. He will stay here in Germany.
Right. Listen, so so they did an interview, and what we're going to hear in the interview is his story. And this refugee was fighting for his life, for surviving at age of 16, a very different upbringing than most white suburban folk had, most German suburban folk had, right? So I'm looking forward to having my guts ripped out to hear the story about a guy who, is going to be okay now because he's in a country that actually respects human life. And I'm sure I can't wait to just say, aren't you glad you're not in the United States? Because if he were here, ICE would have handcuffed him and shipped him out immediately as a terrorist threat, right? And so, it's just absolutely amazing. Good morning, everybody. Wow, we got lots of people. Hey, Real Jingy and Jilly Love and Brom and Judy Meyer and Steve Collins. Who did I miss? I saw a whole bunch of people here. Good to see you. Good to see you, everybody. Okay, so that's heavy shit, and we're working on that right now. The editing is happening, and then it's going to come this way, and Ash has got to do some stuff to it, and then we'll figure out how we're going to present it, and we may split it up into sections, or, I don't know. We'll figure it out. But just stay tuned with us, because we're going to be doing that. And that's more on the professional adult kind of side of things, not the silly R-rated whatever this is, right? Okay, moving on. Events. So last night you didn't get to see it, Markus, did you? You didn't get any of the Keith Ellison, Bernie Sanders rally? I
watched a bit before I joined you, and yes, it was Bernie. And from what I see, he's pushing harder than in the primaries. He puts even more energy in it.
Yeah.
Am I wrong with his impression? I think not.
No. And I'm not laughing because it's what you said. You're right. It's just, it was all about Bernie. Nobody gave a shit about anybody else.
It's ridiculous.
That's what it's ridiculous. But on the other hand, I mean it in a positive way. We saw some interesting things last night. I don't know if you got to see Keith Ellison's opening. Did you get to hear Keith at all?
Yes, only quick because I wanted to see Bernie.
Okay. Well, how many? I don't know how many of you guys were here, right? But watch it or have seen it yet. But it was kind of sad. I'm just going to agree with everybody that was like, really, Keith, really. The Democratic Party is trying so hard to make it look like they feel the burn. They're like, look, we sprayed burn all over us. We bought a can of burn, and we totally feel the burn. And Tom is just like us, and he's my friend. I mean, literally, Keith Ellison was like this. Tom Perez is my friend, and you all need to be Tom's friend. I'm like, really? Come on, dude. I mean, please.
No. And I think it's interesting to see this. The Democrats think they can use Bernie for their purposes, but Bernie is using them. They are spending the money for the tour, and Bernie sticks to his message. He says, "We don't want the corporations. We want healthcare for everyone. We want free colleges. We want free education. We want all that stuff, and we demand it." He sticks to his message, and lets the DNC pay for it. It's perfect for me.
It is, and the DNC is feeling the pain everywhere they go, because Perez gets booed, right? And when Ellison's talking about being friends with Perez, he gets booed. And
is Perez still on tour with him, or was he replaced by Keith Ellison right now?
Well, they seem to be bouncing back and forth. It's like they had Perez on the first leg, like, ooh, that didn't go so well. Let's bring in Ellison and see if we can't smooth things over, because we really want Tom to be the opening act. But it looks like we're going to have to bring in Ellison, right? It's just this total, like, it's just PR. They're trying to figure out and what everybody's saying that I love is look, we don't, first of all, they're saying we want Bernie. In other words, we want every one of you, Ellison and Perez and Pelosi and Schumer and all of you, you got two choices. Be a Bernie tool or get out. It's the Bernie way or the highway. And it's, I was going to show you a picture. Here's Keith in the middle of saying, come on, Tom is my friend. He really is. Tom's not so bad. He's not a bad guy. Tom and I talk. We really do. I don't give a fuck, right? Honestly, I think of Tom as I think of Keith. Tools in the shed. Not disrespectfully, they're human beings. Okay, I'm a tool in the shed for Lynn County. Happy to be a tool in the shed. And if somebody were to come up to me and say, you're sucking as a tool, tell me how to be a better tool, because I didn't sign on to be a tool, to be a shitty tool. But these politicians, for some reason, have this idea that we actually value their input. I don't really. I just want them to do what we tell them to do. We're pretty smart people, right? I want them to weigh the options and hear what we have to say and implement our majority choices. That's what I want a representative to do. Right? Bernie Sanders is a leader. So he leads with ideas and thoughts, talks about the issues. But in the end, if Bernie showed up if America said, Bernie, we want to do this, he'd go, oh, well, that's right. My job. And the point, it doesn't, let Bernie ride the train. Let Bernie go across to red states and convert people. Let the Democratic Party understand that it's the Bernie way or the highway. That's, and Hill people, go away. Go away. WikiLeaks proved that we can't trust her. We can't trust the Democratic Party. Right? Go away, Hill people. There's no unity here. I don't give a fuck about you. You've been proven to be your person has been proven to be dishonest and unworthy of the position of anything. There's no compromising I need to make with that. None. That's my unity feelings. How about you, Marcus?
I can only agree. and I think it is painful to see Perez when being asked about a single payer that he has nothing to deliver.
Oh yeah.
And he stands on the same stage with Bernie, and Bernie is pushing out his plans and what he's standing for, and then there's Perez, and he has nothing to say.
Well,
it is pathetic.
Yeah, and I know you guys are probably quoting Jupiter Judy's yes, third party. Doing my Listen, I think Bernie's being pushed closer and closer to that option. But I really think he'd rather use the Democratic Party for what it is. All right.
Yes.
It's got a lot of resources. There's a lot of tools in that shed that are just going to do what they're told because that's what good tools do. And if we can get control of those tools, then we're in good shape. We've already pushed many tools in the left direction, right?
And in my opinion, I don't know if you agree, there is not enough time anymore left. When will this start again? The last election, it started in 2015. It would start now in 2019. The next preparings for the primaries and so on and so on.
Yeah. We don't have.
There is not much time again, and there are so many people involved in the ground game, and this is a card I would put my money on.
Right. Well, yeah. I mean, that's agreed, and I think that's where Bernie gets that. Most of the people working on the ground game get that. The Democratic Party is still going to try to appease Bernie supporters and stay corporate.
No chance.
And we're going to tell them you don't get our votes if you do that, and it will come down to it will come to a head at some point. Right? Bernie Sanders hasn't given over his email list. Bernie Sanders is still saying I'm an independent. Bernie Sanders I saw the clip where you've got Bernie right there next to Perez. And Bernie's saying Democratic Party got to do something about these problems, and Perez is like, right? And I mean that's you. It's because Perez is like, well, I'm part of that problem. He can't just like I'm part of that. I am an establishment. I'm part of that problem. I can't agree with Bernie Sanders on that.
And look, as the establishment presents absolutely zero content. The only content there on the market is Bernie's content.
It was a great comment by somebody in chat watching it last night. Great platitudes, right? Like great statements. Those are some really awesome statements. Now let's see you fucking implement them. Let's see you actually do them. Right? Love the way you talk about it. Man, we got a lot of things to talk about. You guys, I got to scroll up in chat because somebody reminded me of something. Oh, Bernice, you're screaming that Julian Assange has an arrest warrant. Yeah, but it doesn't mean anything. You understand that, right?
No.
They have no jurisdiction in Ecuador. And Jeff Sessions may be upset about that too. How come a whole other country gets to decide what we can do there? Sorry, Jeff, but they don't have. It's a political posturing. It's Trump going, well, if I could, I'd arrest him. Whatever.
And what are the facts? The only facts I saw were the emails presented by WikiLeaks.
Right.
It turned out there are facts. Where is Debbie Wasserman-Schultz? Where is this other horrible lady? They are gone. They are gone, and they are gone because they were guilty. They were caught. They were caught in the trap.
Yes. Yes.
And if I see the Russians did all this, where are the fucking evidences for this?
Well, right. And here's but you see the evidence though, the problem. So the evidence that they have of WikiLeaks is also the same evidence that many of these agencies have used against other agencies, citing WikiLeaks. That's the problem here. I've got it on my list as how does this work with evidence? Because you can't accuse WikiLeaks of doing things and then say, here's the evidence. It's these emails. It's this content that they released. And they go, however, I referenced this content as reliable sourcing when I was trying to, destroy this person over here, or when I was trying to get us to go to war over here. This was fine. But now that we want to go after WikiLeaks, this is not. You don't get to do that. Pot. That's the pot trying to arrest the kettle, and the evidence that it's going to use will incriminate the pot. So I don't understand. Good luck, dumb fuck. Yeah. Does Jeff Sessions even understand anything about how our goddamn judicial system works? How did he get his fucking job? What does he do? Just unbelievable. Was he a judge ever? Does that matter? Does Attorney General have anything to do with legal shit, or they just the suit and tie that gets a fucking job and they have no idea what it is? Like Rick Perry, who had no fucking idea what the Department of Energy did.
And what about the First Amendment?
What about it, Marcus?
What about the First Amendment, which is sacred in the USA?
Well, not when it comes to espionage and colluding with the enemy.
No, no,
and
no, 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 no. This is the narrative they want to pull. They want to push now. But the fact is, it is news, and the news was not only presented by WikiLeaks, but by many others also.
Yes.
Then you should address to the New York Times, to Washington Post, maybe to CNN. I don't know CNN, but some other media outlets. Okay, then they're in the same boat with Assange.
Yes. Do as I say, not as I do. Go arrest those people. We're done using them. Thank you. It's Assange is a hero. WikiLeaks, the whole organization, heroes. And when we're done writing this place, we will big fucking statue of Julian Assange somewhere right in downtown D.C. to remind everybody that this is what it takes. This is real courage. This is real patriotism. When you report the facts, when you report that your government is a lying sack of shit, the makeup is gone. The big show is over for America. That's part of my thing. We're just like going all over the place on my notes. I have, I take time every morning to write a list, and we're supposed to go in order. God damn it, messing with my order. And comments are moving fast. We got a lot of people in comments today. Hey everybody, wow. Hey Barbara. Hey Naomi Scott. How you doing? Yeah, they use the ruse of national security. They use that for everything. National security. Well, I don't need any more security.
But do you think the American people would accept that someone lays hand on the First Amendment for national security reasons?
Of course. That's for the yes, and they've tried it before. They already have the Patriot Act does that. It's exactly what it does. It fucks our personal freedoms for the safety of the country.
Yes, it is okay, but this was in times of war against terror, It
hasn't been revoked.
Yes, but I think the situation is not the same.
Well,
there was there was the impression of 9/11, when all this came up.
Well, why hasn't it been cut back?
Yes, this is the question exactly.
Yeah, I mean, it's the only here. Well, you're actually it's the circular argument, right? We need to feel threatened in order to keep the Patriot Act valid. How are we threatened?
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Well, now we're threatened by whatever we want, right? We're threatened by justices in Hawaii. Shouldn't have that kind of power. That's the thing, we're threatened by marijuana, Jeff Sessions says. We've got a new drug czar now who's going to go after drugs. Apparently not pot, although Sessions doesn't. I don't even know how that's going to work. Right? We have to feel threatened. We have to feel threatened. This thing in France that just happened, they're going to use that to advantage. See, the Islamic State blowing up shit, Let's make sure we stoke that fire as much as we can.
It was during the live debate on TV when this message appeared, and they referred during the live discussion to what happened in Paris yesterday, and Le Pen was pretty clear about it,
What did they say? What did he say?
Le Pen is the right winger, Front National, and she was again agitating against immigrants, against Muslims, etc. The whole program,
Does Trump talk to her? Are they friends?
Yes, maybe deep friends.
Yes, and the Patriot Act was Obama. Really, more was done under Obama with the Patriot Act. We just didn't realize it. It was very covert. The drones, the killings, and all that stuff. Yeah. 45 is whining about the ridiculous standards he's been held to. Yes, which aren't even standards. It's not like our media has held anybody to any standards. They've exonerated most of the horrific shit that's been done, or not reported on it, right? Or spun the narrative on it in some horrific way. TYT Network, they've got weed teas on sale. That's good to know. Half of the Rachel Maddow show is Russia. She talks about all the time. Does she have viewers anymore?
She's top rated. I learned.
Is she top rated?
She gets ratings. The ratings are boosting for her show. Wonderful.
That's great. Wow.
Yes, and I cannot see why, because I think she's a pure horror in my opinion.
Agreed. She's Russia. I know. Where are we at on the list here? Did we talk? Did I covered Chad Talks with the Timothy Van Der Veer, right? I did say something about that. No, did I not? I can't even remember now.
You did.
Okay,
Did.
good. Got a clip. That's very cool.
Well, did you tell me before the show? Oh, damn, I don't know.
Did I talk about? Do you guys remember me talking about Timothy Van Der Veer? Let me know. We can't even keep track of when we talk about shit live and when we're not. That's how often we do this. Let's talk about. Let's move to Germany and China sitting in a tree. So what's going on with Germany and China? Huh? What's Merkel trying to do here? I got a picture of them being friendly.
There is an article on the German news magazine Der Spiegel, and it says that Germany is trying to get more a closer connection to China, what business concerns, you know. But this is only one part of it. We have a lot of efforts running right now. We are in talks with Australia, with Japan, with Mexico, and some other countries. Of course, the Chinese market is very interesting, but it wouldn't come to a strong or deep alliance as we are used to have with America, because there are so many cultural differences, what in views, in worldviews, what concerns human rights, etc. And there is another very disturbing point about a good relationship, which prevents a good relationship, is the copying and stealing of ideas in China.
No, you don't say.
Well, a lot of German companies who went to China and built branches there had to connect directly with a Chinese company, which is mostly conducted by the Chinese government, which is the only purpose for it is to get the knowledge on how to build things themselves. You know? And,
come show us your patents.
you get so good made copies of nearly everything right now, and this is a reason why a relationship might go deeper than in the past. This depends on Trump's behavior. If he puts tariffs on German or European goods, then the connections between Germany or Europe and China will get stronger, but it would never lead to an alliance. Which is known what we have with the USA.
It'll be interesting to see if Germany can't influence China or the China, as Bob, your uncle, says. You know, you guys understand really the opposite ends of the spectrum these two are on in terms of copyright, because Germany is like up the ass about copyright and privacy rights and people rights and video rights. And I mean, they just recently worked a deal with YouTube to allow that shit, right? I mean, Germany's like in really tight, their standards.
Yeah, you got to understand, and this is one thing Germany is very criticized for, is we have a lot of exports here from Germany, you know, and it is basic for us to keep the export as it is for our living standards here.
See,
you know?
That's why we don't give a fuck. We're the
if
importers.
This is correct or not, or a helping environment, or a good relationship with people or peoples is questionable, of course. But this is how the business works.
Right. I mean, you guys got your standards and your ethics and your morals, right? But you and everybody knows that China copies all sorts of stuff without, you know, they don't care about patent law or copyright law or any of that shit, really. And I'm not even going to go down that discussion road, but I remember years ago when the first Harry Potter books were coming out, all the Chinese copies that were coming out, and everybody in America was like buying them up, and they were all bullshit or, you know, half-assed versions. Somebody had ripped off 3/4 of the script and, you know, put it in there. I mean, I'm not saying it. I mean, of course, it's not right. Right? So this, it's just going to be interesting to see how that will work. It's just not backwards. But what are they going to do? The United States. See, and here's as an American, I don't care, because you're an export economy. You actually produce things of value that other people want, and you're competing with China in that. I'm a consumer economy. I don't care where it comes from. I want it the cheapest, the fastest, and the bestest. And if the Chinese version ends up being shitty, I'll go buy the German version that costs more eventually when my Chinese version breaks. See?
Well, yeah, I see what you mean, but this is not how business works.
I know. Of course. In other words, our boon, because now I have choices. This is competition in the market. So our boon is your loss. Capitalism. Yes. Just saying.
Yes. It's capitalism.
It's unethical capitalism, but and really that was like the top big story I had today. Everybody just talking about that. I know we've got all sorts of crazy shit going on otherwise, but that's really the top news. We're going to move into the ground game. Mariachi bands. There was mariachi last night. Do you know? Did you catch any of that? The musical interlude?
I read it.
Okay.
I read the article.
You read? Listen. So this is different. That's different mariachi. I got different mariachi. Mariachi is like For the Win in civil disobedience or something. I don't know what it is. At the event last night, there was a mariachi band that played, an African choir that played, and some kind of a Americana blues band that played. And then all three of them kind of got together and played a bunch of stuff and tried to do This Land Is Your Land at the end. Bernie couldn't find the beat. It was really interesting. It was hard to hear what was going on for a while there. But you're not going to believe this. In the video, so usually live music does not get picked up for copyright or picked up for monetary sharing, right? Live music doesn't. One of the mariachi songs from last night was identified by YouTube. Now, luckily, they actually are on revenue sharing, not just blocking or not just saying you can't monetize, but actually have a brain in their heads. They're like, great, thank you for playing our song, and let's share the money, which is what you would do if you had a brain in your fucking head in the 21st century and you were putting content on the goddamn internet, especially on YouTube. But we won't go there. It's a whole other story. So I was surprised. I was like, really? Of all the shit I get dinged with, even though this is a good ding, it's the live version of a mariachi tune. It's like by some local group, right? Who arguably was the best group. I'm just going to say that right now. In my opinion, they were good. Guy was a good singer. They had good music going on, good beat, good groove. It was fantastic. Appealing to the Latino audience. At the same time, this is brilliant. This is civil disobedience in a whole new light. So this is Senator Cory Gardner's luncheon at the, I don't know what this, like the Business People's Community Group or whatever. I can't remember this. Gardner is a Republican senator from Colorado. All right. This is at the Chamber of Commerce. That's what it is, the businessy people. Senator Cory Gardner began answering questions at a chamber luncheon when he was suddenly interrupted by the sounds of mariachi music filling the room. Gardner's a Republican from Colorado, was one of several lawmakers who has come under fire for refusing to schedule a public forum with constituents. That's exactly why the band and dozens of other protesters were at the Cheyenne Mountain Resort on Wednesday. All right, wherever this was, Cheyenne Mountain Resort for whatever. The private luncheon was a small gathering where only members of the Colorado Springs Chamber of Commerce were given a chance to meet with Gardner and ask questions. An opportunity that many constituents have wanted for months because he works for them and he shouldn't have to, schedule private meetings, and we shouldn't have to pay to get in to talk to the guy because he's actually our employee. The 6-piece mariachi band paid the $250 fee to join the Chamber of Commerce so they could attend. You're gonna make us pay? Okay. And we're bringing our musical instruments. And we're going to play over your ass. I think it's brilliant. So every time we went to talk, they would just play a song. They had different songs ready for different things.
They started with "Where Is Your Heart." I don't know this song, but very fitting.
Where is your heart? Yes, that's beautiful. After dodging public forum requests for months, interrupting Gardner during the meeting seemed like the best way to get his attention, the group told CNN affiliate KRDO. Though protesters continue to ask for a public forum, Gardner has hosted live telephone town halls to update constituents on the work he's doing and discusses issues affecting Colorado because he doesn't want to hear them tell him that he's a fucking asshole and needs to do what they say. it has an effect. I mean, he doesn't even want to do it because all of his Republican friends are like, dude, I'm waiting for them to throw lettuce and tomatoes. They're pissed. Right? And I'm waiting for us to throw lettuce and tomatoes. That would be fantastic. That's one Middle Ages thing that I like. Because you can do it in a way that's not harmful, right? I mean, even if you get beaned by a tomato, what's it going to do? Give you a little bruise? I would love to hit a politician with a tomato day and just bean the fuck out of some of these guys. Total sideline. Yes.
This is already existing. What you're describing in Spain, they have one time a year they have a certain day where everyone in this village or city, I don't know, grabs all the tomatoes they can have and they are throwing at each other.
Okay, well
it's a giant mess.
Yes. Okay. Well, that's all in fun, and it's not just politicians. Everybody does it, right?
Yeah, but it is a good example. I think it could be used in much more ways. Not only for fun, but to express your anger.
Yeah. And you're right. We could do pies, cream pies, just in the face. Maybe that'd be fun. Something like that. Public humiliation with food items. Although right now we got a lot of people who don't even have food. Maybe that's not a good idea.
Yeah.
Let's wait a while. Yeah. This would be fun. I don't know. Moving on. Where we at here? Germany and China. Ground game Mariachi for the win. March for Science in North Carolina. There's a link. All these links are in the description, right? Links to everything that I'm talking about, all in the description. So click on them, share them. Steve Collins, you're like always there with the sharing. Judy Meyer, Bev, other people. Thank you guys for sharing. It's really helping to grow the audience. I'm not going to run the clip because it's pretty standard stuff. I just thought it was impressive that, where'd it go? I can't find my clip. There it is. I just want to show you this. Those of you who don't think there's change happening, there is a science march planned for Raleigh, North Carolina. North Carolina, one of the places where we are regressing fast. So, good for them. This is a group that does a lot of scientific research on renewable biofuels and other sorts of stuff, and they're going to lose a whole bunch of money because Trump is cutting budgets for national research on this and the EPA, and that money doesn't just go to pay people's salaries in the EPA. It goes to fund research so that we can move forward without fossil fuels, which is why Trump has cut the funding. So I'm glad on North Carolina for having a rally, and you're not alone. All 100 of you or whatever there are in North Carolina at this point that believe in climate science. I don't know. I know there's a lot of progressives in North Carolina, but you guys are really embedded in the stupid there. And so I'm hoping we can help you. Manic DBB. Bernie, what? Really? He's investigated Ossoff? Let me be very clear. It is imperative that John Ossoff be elected congressman from Georgia's 6th district and that the Democrats take back the U.S. House. Trump's reactionary agenda. Bernie today. Really? Okay.
Maybe that was a reaction from Ossoff to the article we had yesterday. So maybe they talked.
Maybe he was listening to us. You think?
No, the article. The article.
I know. I totally. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I'm sure.
Where he said, I don't know. Bernie said, I don't know if he's a Democrat, if he's a progressive or not. And I think that hints that there was a conversation between them.
Yeah, obviously. I mean, think about Bernie. So when he's asked first, what do you think of him? I don't know. So what's the first thing he's going to do? Go no. Like any good rep would do. I don't know about him. Let me go learn. That may take me 5 minutes. It may take me 5 hours, but it's my responsibility to learn, and then I will come back to you and give you an honest answer. Don't you wish all reps worked that way?
And I think it was in Ossoff's interest to contact Bernie.
Of course.
To clear this, because he's described as a Bernie-crat, and the DNC or the Democratic establishment says he would be the face of the party. This sounds very strange to me,
Right. So now that Bernie has endorsed, does this mean the Democratic Party won't? Because they haven't been really helping and promoting the people that we want them to help and promote.
Exactly.
take over the party in your local town and county and state, and then we won't have this problem anymore. That's all we got to do. That's all we got to do. As states fall in line, right? Then and here's the thing, folks. The thing that all of these people need the most, John Ossoff and all the other progressives that are running, they need money. They need people power, boots on the ground in their local towns, and they need money. What's the thing that we can deliver to them in volume without having to even say hello to the DNC at the federal level? I don't have to give them a dime. I don't have to help them one iota. I don't have to do shit for Perez or Ellison or Schumer or Nancy. They can just stay in the shed and be rusty tools. I can give my money to my local party. I can send my money directly to a candidate. I can volunteer to phone bank for any candidate in the fucking United States. See, we use our individuality to help individuals instead of the whole party. And that's a bigger message. When the party comes back and goes, wow, this year for the primaries, we've got shit in the bank nationally, but it looks like all the individual candidates that happen to be Bernie-crats are funded up the ass. That's what you want to see, right?
Exactly.
When they're like, how did Ossoff, and we got to make it, we also got to make it so they can't come by and take it, right? We want to make sure that the national party isn't like, oh, look at that $10 million Ossoff has. We're just going to take 5 for the Hillary Can Run Again fund. You know? This is how we control the greedy fucks at the top, is we cut off their air supply. We cut off their blood supply. We say no boots on the ground for you and no money for you. That's all on us. All right? And then we send mariachi bands out in volume. We're sending a fleet of mariachi to D.C. You're warned. Ossoff was a $27 candidate to DNC. Probably did not help him. Yeah, I know. They don't. They don't. But what he did here, understand this. Understand that what he did was pretty impressive. Bernie had a good statement about it, and I can't remember what it was. I mean, he was a 20-point underdog or something like that before that. Or I mean, it was what he, and it's a special election, so it wasn't like he had time to prepare that campaign and really be building that base. That was what he was able to get together for that special election. That's you got to really put all the pieces in perspective here for what he did, what he accomplished. We don't need the Democratic Party to put Ossoff in office. We need us. It's what we learned with Bernie. Yeah, yep. There's corruption along the way, and we may be faced with some of that corruption, and there's nothing that says they won't just rig the whole goddamn election and fuck him. But we'll have WikiLeaks to help us prove it. We'll have, that we'll be able to uncover the evidence, and then we'll know who to get rid of first, right? This is war. We have to take our intelligence. We have to plan our operations. We have to secure our resources, our boundaries, our borders. This is war. You know?
Kind of, yes.
Well, political revolution. Political revolution. All those things count, agreed. Right? You know?
Agreed.
The one thing we're trying to do it without is weapons of war, shooting weapons. Our weapons are words and truth and direct action and all the things that I want to see happen, that I scream about, that I don't do. Right? Which is why I got involved. Start with one thing. Get involved. Geez, am I already to this article? Today was a weird day because, really, I'm just like asleep at the wheel. So apologies, everybody. I do love how they think they can get Assange. They can't. Yeah, it's not. It's funny. It's sad. It's so obvious that Trump and company have no idea how the government functions. I mean, I thought I didn't know how the government functions, but even I could have said, no, that's, I had a better understanding of the branches and what kind of powers rest with people. Trump and everybody's like, no. I'm the CEO, right? And so when I say something, it just happens. That's literally what these guys think. Literally in the literal sense. The first one. You know. Hang on, I'm trying to pull the card up again so I can show you guys what's next on the list. I love coming up with titles. Stoner's investment in humanity sees huge dividend. What am I talking about? I'm talking about, and I remember this guy's name, and I know you guys are gonna pound me for not knowing Rick Steves. All right, Rick Steves is a PBS travel guy and pot advocate, and I know that, I'm sure I've seen Rick Steves stuff, or my mom has referred to stuff. I know the guy, but this is a brilliant story. All right. Travel guide guru Rick Steves just gave a $4 million apartment complex to homeless women and kids who need housing. What this guy did, he traveled across Europe, right, and basically found out what it was like to be homeless, what it was like to sleep in crappy places, to feel unsafe, to gain a firsthand experience of it. And when he was making money and doing well, he invested that money into an apartment complex to provide homes for people who didn't. And the first building was for women affected by domestic violence. That's how this man invested in his future, invested in his retirement. I used to call these people stewards of industry, but they're really stewards of humanity. And that's what I expect out of anybody who has become successful because of humanity. That's the kind of business person I want. That's the kind of leadership I want, is somebody who says, you know what, look at how much I have. Let's see how much we can help others with it. Quite frankly, that's the whole tenet of Christianity, which most white folk ignore. You know? So, I just was blown away by this. I thought that's a great idea. The whole thing, very cool. You know? It's when there's people out there who have so much, and they do so little with it. What a waste. What a waste. It ties into where I was going with a lot of stuff, but this we yelled and talked about this before, but it's so much for unity. The Democrats falling apart on the Come Together tour because they're trying to push this message, but it ties into a bigger issue. It ties into the fact that the United States facade is gone. Oh, I sound a little bit like Christopher Walken there. He's gone. Hey. Christopher Walken is the hardest voice to impersonate ever. I'll have to find that video of Asians impersonating Walken. For some reason, Asian folk can impersonate Christopher Walken really well. I know that's a total sideline. I was really going into a discussion of unity, lack thereof, and the facade, which the facade rests around the religious right, Christianity in the United States, and this belief that somehow we are actually better than everybody else, cleaner than everybody else, and we're seeing that entire bullshit facade be destroyed thanks to people like WikiLeaks and Edward Snowden, thanks to folks like Trump entering the office and making a mockery of this respectful and, the prestigious office of the president. There's nothing prestigious about it. It's a public service office. We pick somebody for it, and apparently we can pick a clown. And it's time that the United States, we are being humbled right now. That's what's happening right now. The United States is being cut down to size. Penis extension is being removed. And there's a lot of butt hurt from a lot of patriots that don't understand what's going on. There's a lot of confusion there, And Markus is nodding his head and can talk about this personally because Germany had it happen, right?
What exactly what do you want to tell me? What happened in Germany?
Well, the fact that Germany not once, but twice, tried to take over the world, got their ass kicked, and then had to,
Okay. You mean this? Yeah. We all know what was the result of this. Total breakdown. Everything broken. Everything, yes, destroyed. Not only millions of people destroyed. Everything was down. It was ruined. Everything was ruined.
Right. And you guys had to pick yourselves back up. You had to find pride in your culture, if not your nation, again, right? Find respect for yourselves because you had just discovered that you had been done horrific things to the whole world, or tried to anyway.
Yes.
It
took us until 2006 until Germany learned to celebrate their national feelings in a good and in a positive way, and this was the Soccer World Championship here in Germany. This was the beginning of a positive nationalism, without
nice.
prejudices against others, but open,
Nice. That's brilliant.
Yeah, but meanwhile, this unfortunately changed, caused by the refugee crisis a lot,
Well, that's our.
There is not. Yeah. No, it's not. Yeah, if you go to the causes, of course, it is the American military fraud. Yeah, no question about this. But this, in my opinion, this doesn't justify that people are getting more and more cold-hearted against people who have nothing, who only could save their lives.
Well, yeah. Sorry, I'm trying to get the damn video is running while you're talking. I was listening to what you're saying, but there's also people talking, saying things here too much going on here. God damn it.
Yeah.
Trying to save this ugly picture of Chris Rock, or I don't know which one that is. Germany. So I can answer. I can agree with you. Wrap up that statement and answer what who is it? Bob's your uncle is saying in here, and everybody else is saying in here. Let me make sure I clarify. Bob's your uncle. Oh, wow, John, Europe is so superior to the U.S., blah, blah. No, it's not what I'm saying. I never mentioned the word superior. I never said the word superior at all. There is no nation that is superior to another. That's been America's problem the whole time. Okay? It's not about dick size anymore. Germany has been around longer as a culture and a nation than the United States. Germany has had its ass handed to it in a much bigger way. We're on our way down right now. We're having our ass handed to us right now. Okay? Germany has wisdom. As a culture of people, they are wiser than we are. We are a young nation. France has wisdom. The UK has that whole area. Yes, Europe has wisdom, more wisdom than we do, because Europe's been over there doing their thing, killing each other and trying to evolve away from it for a lot longer. Okay? So they have a better chance, and they're farther ahead than we are in terms of civilization and where I'd like to see it be, because this is all based on my personal opinion anyway. Right? So I'm not saying that anybody over there is superior. They're just headed in a direction that's way more peaceful, way more about humanity, way more about working together, way more about surviving climate change. And that makes us inferior, really. That's my statement. And if you can argue with that, I guess you're defending something. I don't even know why you'd bother. It's like defending America being the greatest country in the world. It's not. It's not. Wish I could play the clip to tell you why. Here, can I just circle back around to the, my favorite clip? I can't play it, goddammit. Here, I want to circle back around to this. This is, Obama photographer responds to Palin mocking Clinton portrait. This is the other part of this U.S., this bullshit facade of, righteousness and glory be to the U.S. I don't even know what to call it. It's just bullshit. It's bullshit. Nationality is bullshit in the 21st century. It should be. It should be humanity. Planety. It's, so what happened is we had the Three Stooges show up in the Oval, right? And we talked about that yesterday. Kid Rock and Ted Nugent and what's her name? Sarah Palin showed up with 45. Well, apparently they went by the big picture of Hillary. And there's a big picture of Hillary in there. I'm not sure why Trump hasn't had that removed or spray painted on it or something like a child would. So they took they posed by it, making, you know, not the most respectful of pictures and mocking the Hillary thing. So, here's like she deserves respect. She's a fucking warmonger. She's destroyed environments around the world. You want me to have respect for a picture of her? I'd probably piss on it myself. And the other thing is, that's the Oval Office, or the wherever that fucking picture is in the White House. That White House, no matter how much I hate those three people, that White House belongs to them too. They pay taxes. Whatever sliver of taxes they pay. But it's their building. And if they want to express themselves in front of a fucking picture of Hillary Clinton, who really screwed the world and screwed us out of Bernie Sanders along with her, I don't care what. So don't give me this, oh, you should be respectful. And he shows this picture of Obama being respectful under Ronald Reagan's picture. I wouldn't be respectful under Ronald Reagan's picture either. He was an asshole. He gutted mental services. Let's knock the pretentious bullshit down in America. We're not great. We're not clean. We're not honest. We didn't have great leadership. We were lied to for decades by a bunch of corporate robber barons. And we're dumb. And we're undereducated. And we're ignorant. And we need to pick our asses up and fix this shit before our planet dies. So any talk about, oh, respect, fuck you. They don't deserve any of our fucking respect. They've done a shitty job. And I'd piss on all their pictures. Okay, that's the rant about Hillary Clinton. Done now. Thank you for listening.
John, yes. Get over it.
No, I will never get over it. No, I'm going to talk about this forever. Because it's not that important. Here, I forgot. There's one more piece. One more piece of the hypocrisy puzzle. This. Because this is out. The crisis of Western civilization. So, and this is a crisis. The belief that the women in these photos are different. The American over-patriot holding the Bible and a machine gun, and the Sharia law or whatever it is. I don't even know what that is. Look.
The Quran.
Quran with the... you know, there is no difference. Christianity is a horrific, violent religion. Islam, in my opinion, is a horrific, violent... Religion is violent in general. Controlling religion, it's not meant... It's bullshit. Sorry. Science does not give a shit what you believe, and that includes your religion. Just gotta go there. That's the American hypocrisy, that somehow we're better, that our Christianity is cleaner, that our white people deserve more respect. I don't even know what it is. It's just ridiculous, but I'm so happy to see it falling down. Bullshit mountain is on fire, underwater, falling down. Woo. See what happens at the end of this, Marcus.
Yeah, I'm curious to see it.
Because you guys with the German thing, like we helped you rebuild your stuff and give you democracy back when we thought we knew what we were doing there, and you guys moved on and did, you know, like, but we didn't have social media to document this. We didn't have YouTube to document the ass handing. Right, so
this is the bitter irony about this. You know, you gave us our democracy. We are practicing here in Germany.
I know.
And now look what's going on in the USA. The land who gave us our democracy. This is a bitter joke.
And now we need your help to remember what that is.
Yeah.
Can you please help us remember what democracy is supposed to be about? Please, Germany.
The former Nazis have to tell the Americans how things work.
Yes.
It's a joke. It's a fucking joke.
Yes. Denise, you're tired of hypocrisy, and I'm glad you guys show up for the rants. Because I guess I got nothing else. I'm not good. I didn't have it loaded. I had this great meme from Canada. Let's see if I can load that up for tomorrow. Already the science shit. Science now. I got a NASA video. This will take us all the time. Okay, that's right. And thank you. Who was it that? Before I forget, there was a. Who was it? Average Jane. Thank you. Average Jane on Twitter, you suggested this song that we're ending with, and I'm pleased because I've had no brains for the last couple days and I can't think of songs for shit. So thank you very much for saving my ass for today's show and having a good song. Tomorrow I'll just run a lot of the old Bernie faves because, stream it on. All right. Maybe some German punk for Markus. I don't know. We'll figure it out.
All right.
You got to pick me a couple good punk ones. Thank you,
Okay.
Steve.
I'll check out what I find.
The Nazis are DC today. Yes, they are. Which is another reason why I have a hard time when people tell me to be polite. Or they don't like the language that I use. Like, or Bernie wouldn't approve of you calling 45 an orange shithead or something. Like, let's go back to World War II. Would you be polite with Hitler and his friends? Would you be afraid of using certain words at them? Of calling them certain things? No. So, fuck you. That's right. Not you personally in the audience, any of you, really. I don't mean you at all. I don't even know who actually made those comments. It was on Twitter a while ago. But, appeasing the hecklers will help, Bob. You're talking about. Libertarians want you to sew up your own balls. What? That is the weirdest statement I've ever read. What are you talking about, Phil Britton? You need to clarify that, please. Where am I at with stuff? Okay, there's the crazy woman. You guys ready for science? Are we done talking heavy shit? Markus, do you have any heavy shit you want to talk about?
Heavy shit. Let me see. No, I didn't have the time to check much news. And the heavy shit. Did we talk about the referendum in Turkey anyway?
That's foreign policy. Jesus, I don't even go there. That's you and.
All right. Okay then. Okay.
What's happening there?
It's unimportant. It's only a NATO partner, and you've got a military base in Turkey. Okay, let's forget about it. No, on a serious.
Are we going to war there? That's all I want to know. We're going to war?
No, not yet. Not to my knowledge. Yes, Turkey. Recep Erdogan, the Turkey, I must say, leader now, won the referendum, and this means he would change the state from a democracy into a presidential system, which is it's a dictator. It's an authoritarian system because there is no judicative anymore, no legislative column anymore. It is only Recep Erdogan who has the lead there, who can say what will happen and what will not happen.
Wow, that sounds great.
Was really disturbing for me as a German. We have the biggest community of Turkish people here in Germany.
Oh, wow.
German Turkey people, yes, and only 48% went to this election. They were allowed to give their votes for this election. 8% went to vote, and 62 or 63% of them voted yes. They want Erdogan to go away from democracy and build up a dictatorial system.
Why?
And this is very disturbing for me.
I agreed.
And this shows me that, in contrary to the integration process with the Italian people who came here to Germany, or the Greek people and others who are now absolutely normal for us, where we don't think about that their origins are in Italy or Greece or somewhere else. The integration of the Turkish people in the third generation doesn't happen anymore. They demand a strong leader for Turkey, but live in Germany, a state which grants democratic rights for them. And this is the point which is very disturbing for me.
Yeah, that's weird. That's unfortunate. I don't know why any group of people would choose a dictatorship. That doesn't make any sense at all.
Yeah, the thing is that they didn't even choose it for themselves because they are living in Germany.
Right.
They chose it for their own people in Turkey. And if you see all the metropoles in Turkey, Izmir, Ankara, Istanbul, Antalya, all voted against Erdogan's plans.
Wow.
But the middle of the country, the country people said, no, we want a strong leader, and yes, and this is the result. Now they get a kind of dictatorship now.
People are dumb.
Yes.
Don't know. Well, he must have been a good salesman. Europe is fucked. European Muslims don't vote or participate in the society of their new country, says Bob's your uncle.
Not all, Bob's your uncle. Not all. I say only from the 48% who took part in the election. From the 48%, 62 or 63% voted yes. It is still a minority, but it estranges me, you know.
Yeah, it's like we have a small group of revolutionaries around the world trying to evolve the knuckle-dragging domesticated apes, and we have a vast, I say vast, but we have other pockets of humans that are happy with remaining enslaved, and we have leaders around the world that are just waiting it play out. It's pretty frightening. I want to back up. Thank you for clarifying, Phil Britton. I can't find your actual quote, but now I understand you were referring to something, their sewn balls. And what's way more mature, Amber Del Vito? Nothing we do here is way more mature. How dare you? No, honestly, I don't know what you're referring to.
Oh yes, and John Warren is right. I forgot to mention this. The election process itself in Turkey is considered maybe it was a trick. It was a fraud.
Oh, like the American process. Okay.
Kind of. It is not proven yet because the Turkey government, Recep Erdogan, denies anything, and he says the result is like it is, and he'll go on with his plans now.
So it's exactly like the United States.
Kind of.
I mean, seriously, that's exactly what a corrupt government does. Right? Well, yes, the election was fraudulent, but we put somebody in power that we wanted in power, not you. And so we're moving on now. Fuck off. That's what the Dems did. That's what the Republicans did, because both the Dems, the establishment Democrats in the Republican Party, and whoever else is in there in the military-industrial complex, Trump and his idiots, they don't give a shit about the rest of Americans. They don't give a fuck. All they care about is their business interests and making sure they're taken care of. That's the small cadre of rich, greedy assholes that we have to get rid of in our government. The problem is they control the big resources that can kick our ass, which is why we have to take over the government. No matter how much I want to take them out with a tomato gun. Election process in Turkey was fake, Stockpost says, I'm sure.
Yes.
My guess is most election process has been rigged for a while, including the United States process. We think about where we sit right now. This is Marcus and I were talking about this at the beginning. The world has not changed in millennia. It's rulers, maniacal rulers, occasionally a halfway decent ruler, but basically rulers pretending to have democracies or not have democracies, dictatorships, all-out tyrannies, slave labor, whatever the fuck you call China, and it doesn't matter. We haven't changed. In Egypt, a long time ago, we were building pyramids for bread and beer, and going to war for bread and beer. And in Rome, we were going to war for bread and beer and pay. And today, we go to war for bread, beer, and pay, and now weed. Nothing's really fucking changed. We're just domesticated slaves, knuckle-dragging slaves. We've got all the fucking power in our hands, but we are too busy arguing with each other over the grubs on each other's backs to actually unite and get shit done. Nothing has fucking changed. Nothing has changed in the 10,000 years of recorded human history. Although back at the very, very beginning, before we really had like leaders, we just had clans. I'm sure then shit was still fucked up. Who knows? Go back far enough. I don't know. Nothing has changed. Nothing has really changed. Marcus is laughing. He's just laughing.
Yes. Chapter 2 in the book.
I know. Read the book, John. Read the book. Read I'm the biggest promo for a book that I haven't read. That's what I am.
Yeah.
Prometheus Rising. You need to read. Everybody needs to read this book, and I will someday too.
Maybe someone in our audience can make you an audio of it.
That'd be great. I mean, thank you for sending me the book. I will read the book. Like, I'm going to have to get on a plane someday and soon, and I will read the book on the plane. That's still when I read books, stuck on a plane.
On your way to Germany, maybe, huh?
Maybe Germany, or on my, yeah. No, I have to go to the East Coast. I'm going to have to go to the East Coast sometime this summer. Unfortunately, I'm going to get on a plane. I don't want to get on a plane. I'm frightened. I don't want to fly. You know? I don't know what the hell to do with my weed now. Jesus. Bread and beer. Hey, I don't want much in life. Yeah, I know, Bob's your uncle. I know. Well, we got more. We got TV. We got shopping malls, although those are dying now. We're moving on. We got the Dukes of Hazzard. What else do you fucking want? Science, because we're going to be late now because we got 12 minutes. Organic wheat and cornbread for everyone. I'm down. So, science. This is a Fern-inspired graphene electrode that is 3,000 times more of a capacitor than the ones we have. It's going to change everything. They looked at the pattern of veins in a fern and saw that it was a self-replicating pattern that delivered the most energy across the leaf. And they replicated that pattern with graphene, which is this crazy-ass material science substance, and have come up with an electrode that is going to just change everything, assuming we can survive. That's your science. Pretty badass. That's pretty. 3,000%. 3,000% is what the storage will do. Boosting solar energy storage. So think about that for all those people out there that are complaining about the squirrel curve and battery storage. 3,000%. We should be okay. Why aren't we shutting down our fossil fuels right now? Focusing on this. Done. Fantastic. Someday. That needs to stop running. Next, science. There are more weird headlines in science today. And I read one and go, is this fake news? Scientists have observed epigenetic memories being passed down for 14 generations. What does that mean, epigenetic? Well, it means that an environmental change is stored in genes and passed down. So they took these nematodes, worms, they injected some of them with this fluorescent gene. They turned on a fluorescent gene, to use the right words, okay? And they kept them in an environment where it was warm enough to want to utilize that particular gene, the fluorescence. They didn't know that at first. At first, they were like, we're going to take these nematodes to see what we can do with the fluorescent gene. And in colder waters, the fluorescent gene doesn't even show up. In warmer waters, for some reason, environmentally, that fluorescence shows up big time. They're just flashing little nematodes. So they took the nematodes out of the warm water, back into the cold water, and let them reproduce for generations. And what they found was when they did this experiment over 14 generations, that fluorescence remained. So they would put them, the next generation's babies had the fluorescence. They put them in warm water, boom, there it is. It didn't die, it didn't go away. It's an environmental change that is stored as genetic information. And they've seen this in other species, other things, and they've actually documented these environmental changes, genetic environmental changes in human beings. One of the ones they talk about is the lack of some cortisol in Auschwitz survivors or World War II concentration camp survivors. It's something that helps you recover after a tragedy, and they have lower amounts of it in genetically in their offspring. And a lot of scientists believe that's the environmental impact of being in a concentration camp. There are other examples that they've had. Nobody's done an extensive study on it with human beings because there's a lot of people worrying, the moral implications of that, how you do that. But to me, it's clear. Do we have genetic traits that are affected by, that our environment induces on us that we pass down? You fucking better believe we do. Does it affect our health? Does it affect, how our organic composition is? You better fucking believe it does. Does it, is it in our best interest as a species to provide ourselves the most healthy environment in which to grow? Yes. Does a planet full of war affect your genetic structure? Yes. My point here is that we raise violent kids. Maybe that violence is genetically inherited because we are in a fucking world of constant war. We're fighting against our own genetic structure in ways.
But this is not new. This there is in our genes the aggressions are in ourselves, in our genes. It was needed to survive, as in the very old times,
In the very old times, we've
when you only had a spear and you had to go hunting, and it was dangerous,
But it's different. It's different.
It is different, but it was needed for the survival of the fittest at that time,
Right, but now it's done for sport. Now it's done for the pure enjoyment of aggression.
It changed somehow.
Yes.
You can see it in aggressive soldiers or in competition, as you say.
Cops.
But it is reasoned in ourselves,
Well, no, I think our environment has changed. We don't have the same fight for survival environment. I mean, we may be going back to it in a lot of places, but this isn't ancient Rome. We're not. But what I'm saying is that aggression has moved from need to survive in the domesticated ape to I can kill for fun. I can kill for sport. I can go apply for a job where I can kill. I can get my testosterone-filled aggression out in numerous ways. We've capitalized on our aggression and promoted that aggression in the United States. And so our environment here is a lot more aggressive and angry. And our children's, that's what I'm saying, the generations, kids are raised up to be cops. I was raised with the whole violence first concept, right? USA great, go kick some fucking ass, right? That's my environment. That's how I was raised. You were raised in a very different environment. This is not the same as our genetic makeup telling us that I'm an animal, I'm a male, and it's my job to provide meat and survive, right? That's different, all right?
I disagree here, because my thesis is that the aggression urge in the human race is so basic that you cannot eliminate it by time or by environment. It is always there.
Right,
Where I agree is that the aggression urge can be trained or misused somehow. If you, as you said, are under permanent pressure, or if someone tells you that you have to go against those people or those people or those people, if this indoctrination comes, of course, this strengthens this urge. But it was always it is there in our nature,
Well, it may be there in our nature, but our environment has changed and shaped it. So you're agreeing with me in general. You're saying my more violent environment has changed me. You are different from me in that sense. You were raised in a less violent environment. You and I may have the same aggression gene, but I am more prone to wanting to be violent than you are. And it's obvious from this show.
But look at our past, Nobody expected in the early 20th century that Germany would ever become so barbaric as we did,
Right, but listen, you're missing my point. Yes, and your environment back then was different. It was very much about aggression. You had Hitler. Environment at the time changed you, right? But you changed that. You quickly moved within 20 years from that to a more peaceful environment. So the genetic structure didn't remain. America has been at war since it started. We have been at war almost 200 years of our existence, which isn't even 250 years. Germany has not been at war that long. Our environment historically has been about going to war.
I know what you mean, but I think the aggression urge is much more fragile as you think. If you remember the novel of William Golding, Lord of the Flies, the young kids stranded on the island. How much time or how less time did it take to get good educated students into warriors, into barbaric warriors?
Devolving takes less time than evolving.
Yes, this is why I think that the aggression urge is so basic and so strong in the human nature that it doesn't of course environment can have an influence, as I agreed to you.
It does.
But I think it is not that much of importance,
Well,
because mankind is aggressive. This is what I want to say, by nature.
I disagree. Mankind chooses to be aggressive by nature. I am not aggressive by nature. I talk big shit, but I am not an aggressive human being.
I mean, in general, and if you look around, there are a lot of wars going on.
In general, because of environment. Because of environment. We're arguing chicken and egg. Because of environment. If we were all raised in a peaceful... we don't have time for this because we're at the end of the fucking show. See,
yes,
this is deep shit. We can't get in this deep shit. God damn it.
Yes. Interesting. What interesting.
All right, guys. And you guys are talking about hippies ruling the world and all your you guys are going off about hippies and stuff. Yes, we want it to be a peaceful planet. Whether we'll get there or not, I don't know.
Here we agree.
We are fighting that very basic instinct, particularly within men, to be aggressive. It's there. You hear it come out of my mouth all the time, right? It's there. I'm not going to argue with it. Being evolved, being a higher being, means getting rid of the knuckle dragon. I don't want to be an ape. Right? I don't want to act like an ape. And quite frankly, today, there's more civilization in ape communities than there is in human community. They treat each other more kindly than we certainly do. And yeah. What about children raised in the military? Yeah. See, we're not even going to go. Can't go there because we don't have time. As a matter of fact, I'm skipping a couple things already. Damn it. The UK. Here's a physical example of more evolved. The UK had its first coal-free energy day, and they are on target to be done using coal by 2025, which is what they agreed to do. Good for them. Good for them. And they're healthier for it. Congratulations, UK. That's yeah. And here, do you want to see the pictures so that there's actual reference? There's a coal mine in the UK or a coal-powered plant in the UK. There you go. I was supposed to show you that. There's a couple articles, a couple links in here that I haven't shown you. One of them that I keep loading but don't play is NASA's video talking about ocean worlds. It's fantastic. I'll probably run it tomorrow to cover some time. Go look at that. It's pretty badass. I'm excited if we survive all this shit going down to get out into space with some new technology and look at some planets. Because we got really fucking cool planets and moons and probably life just in our solar system. And we can get to all those things in our solar system. That's fucking badass. So, if nothing else, think about that stuff. That's positive. People around the world dying and refugees and climate change. But maybe we'll get to look at some life on it. Maybe right as we discover there is life elsewhere and it thinks we're stupid, we'll wipe ourselves out and we'll prove them correct. No, we're not. You know, that's what we do. One of the links, though, is to this Facebook video. We're not going to play it. It's like 4 minutes. But this is Timothy Vanderveer's video. And that's Timothy Vanderveer up on stage, I believe, or talking at the podium. This is the Democratic Party of Hawaii's 420 Forum on 420, Cannabis in Hawaii. And I love that. That's progressive. And I would much rather see cannabis use promoted than alcohol use or cigarette use. It's time we pull back the facade on that bullshit too. Cigarettes and alcohol kill millions of people around the world every year, in America in particular. Yet we still promote those two things as healthy, great things for you to go out and do for fun because our government makes a lot of money off that shit. And I want to flip that. I want it to be cannabis because it lowers your testosterone. And I want that to be a fucking commercial. Cannabis. Take some of that ape out of you today. That's what I want it to be. Yeah. So I just wanted to show that. Thought that was cool. We are ending with Willie Nelson. I don't remember hearing this tune. Maybe we played it during the primaries. We certainly played a lot of stuff. But this is Whatever Happened to Peace on Earth. And it's good. And if you know Willie, he's a pretty honest guy. Smokes weed, too. Markus, got anything you want to tell everybody before we get out of here?
Yes, enjoy the Friday and be prepared for tomorrow for our marathon.
Yes. Tomorrow's going to be... I should probably tell everybody about that tomorrow. So we'll have Markus. We'll have Katie. We'll be broadcasting at some time early in the morning, Pacific. Probably maybe even 7 o'clock in the morning. Depends on how I'm feeling. But there should be something going on in D.C. by that time. They're supposed to start the big March for Science rally, I think, at 10. And then the actual marching happens around 2 East Coast. Between 7 a.m. tomorrow and the rest of the day till around 2 or 3 o'clock Pacific, I will be broadcasting whatever I can find. And we will have a report from Katie on the French elections and all that shit going on there with the, big problems and the chances of the right-wing person winning. And we'll talk to Markus, and we'll have a show somewhere in there. We've got the premiere of Awake, the film. We're running that. That's 92 minutes of documentary about Standing Rock by Josh Fox, Myron Dewey, and a whole bunch of other people. So there's a lot of shit going on tomorrow. Join us for that. And I'm going to find Bernie somewhere. He's going to be somewhere. I'm going to find Bernie. We will be finding the burn, wherever it is. Right, Markus?
All right, I'm with you.
We need our daily burn.
Yes.
Our session of sanity. So, and you guys. So thank you all for being here. Thank you for that. When is the interview tonight? There is no interview tonight. No. What do you think interview tonight? The Awake movie is tomorrow. What is Trump signing executive orders on? What is it that dinosaurs walked with humans? Did he draw a picture? So this is all going, that was all going on tomorrow. Jilly Love, I might stream Bernie today if I can find a stream and I'm around to know that it's there. I don't know where he's at. I'm happy to cover it if we can find a local station that's streaming it. Is he Miami? No, not Miami. I forget. KUTV has Bernie on now. Drop me a link and I can start up another thing. I would just need to shut this down and go there. Email it to me. The refugee interview is it's done. We have to put it together. I don't know when we're going to release the pieces of it because it has to go through editing. So probably not till next week at least. All right. And so yeah, I don't even know how long it's going to be yet. Chad Talks With is next Wednesday, talking to Timothy Vanderveer of the Hawaiian Democratic Chair of the Hawaiian Democratic Party. That's next Wednesday. Yeah, the 26th. Thank you. Yeah. Guys, answer all those questions. Woo! Julie Love says he's in Utah and Arizona today. Good. And just quick high point on Utah. Chavez, gone, says he's not running for re-election, which just means that he's got a job as a lobbyist or maybe on CNN somewhere. He's already taken. Right. But that's always a good thing. We got that dick face out of there. And his selective prosecution or investigation or whatever the hell it is. April 21st, Friday, 12 p.m., Salt Lake City, Utah, come together and fight back. Didn't we just miss that? They're an hour ahead of me, right? 2 hours ahead of me? Anyway.
I think you can skip the come together and go on live when it is about fight back.
The come together part is Tom and Keith trying to make it, and the fight back is the Bernie. So the main act. Yeah, that's Markus got it right there. Yes. All right, everybody. Thank you to Average Jane on Twitter for suggesting this, who is also eager to get I'm not going to remember her name. We'll be interviewing another transgender candidate in Utah that is running against Republican incumbent, and I can't remember her name right now, and so I don't want to fuck it up. But they just put me in contact with her, and she's a Democrat, and she follows Bernie Way, and so I'm looking forward to getting in touch with her and Chad, and maybe doing the show. I don't know when he's got to do bookings. Anyway, if you guys want, if you're a politician, Bernie Crad or progressive Democrat, and you want to get airtime, reach out to us, info@bernie2016.tv, and we can book you on one of the shows. Don't talk to me directly. Don't message me directly, please, God, because I am not a booking person and I can't keep my fucking own shit together straight. So please, that's why I've got info@bernie2016tv, because Chad will see it and Laura will see it and Marcus will see it, and the three of them have a good brain set to really organize the booking. So yeah, tomorrow, Science March and Awake and the French election reporting from Katie. Sunday is Tatum, assuming they get their shit together and deliver me a rundown. And yeah, we got all sorts of shit going on. There you go. We're going to end with Willie Nelson, Whatever Happened to Peace on Earth, which is a great question. Like that American facade, we talk about it a lot, but our actions are the opposite of peaceful ones. You want peace on earth, we have to stop being warmongering sons of bitches, and I'm talking about the United States of America at the federal level. We want peace on earth, we have to start at our local level being peaceful with each other, right? I would think peace on earth could be accomplished in the same way we're trying to accomplish a democratic overthrow of our government. Start at the ground level, and don't be a dick. I don't know what happened to peace on earth, except we fell asleep at the wheel and let a bunch of psychopaths take over our government. And now we're going to change that with the help of some other folk, like Germans, who've learned their lessons and, willing to help us learn ours. Thank you for being here. And we'll see you guys tomorrow on a big, massive, huge show with a lot of stuff going on. Peace, everybody.
See you.
Thank you, Marcus.
There's so many things going on in the world. Baby's dying, mother's crying. How much oil is one human life worth? And what happened to peace on earth? We believe everything that they tell us. They're gonna kill us, so we gotta kill them first. But I remember a commandment, thou shalt not kill. And how much is a soldier's life worth? And what happened to peace on earth? And the bewildered herd still believing everything we've been told from our birth. Hell, they won't lie to me, not on my own damn TV. But how much is a liar's word worth? And whatever happened to peace on earth? So I guess it's just do unto others before they can do it to you. Let's just kill them all and let God sort them out. Is this what God wants us to do? And the bewildered herd still believing everything we've been told from our birth. Hell, they won't lie to me, not on my own damn TV. But how much is a liar's word worth? And whatever happened to peace on earth? Now you probably won't hear this on your radio, probably not on your local TV. But if there's a time and you're ever inclined, you can always hear it from me. But how much is a picker's word worth? And what happened to peace on earth? But don't confuse caring for weakness. You can't put that label on me. The truth is my weapon of mass protection, and I believe that truth sets you free. And the bewildered herd still believing everything we've been told from our birth. Hell, they won't lie to me, not on my own damn TV. But how much is a liar's word worth? And what happened to peace on earth?